Today we're going to review the Climber, this at-home climbing machine. So if you want to know the pros, the cons, everything I think you need to know about the Climber, then just keep watching. So the cost of the Climber is about $2,800. So it's definitely an investment in your home gym. However, they do have periodic sales. I checked the website most recently and it was about $1,800, which is a pretty big discount. So that's the base price. And there are a few more expensive packages that you can get. So there's one above that does include a 12-month membership. And then there's a kind of the most premium membership, which includes a bunch of additional accessories. Now, Gordon and I have been super intrigued with the idea of a Climber for quite a while now. So I actually reached out to Climber, asked them if they could send me one to review. So the Climber you see here was sent to me for free by the company. However, I would never ever agree to do a review where I could not share my honest pros and cons. And that is what I'm going to be doing in today's video. They also gave me a discount link that will actually save you $500 on a Climber if you're interested in purchasing one. However, if this is not the product for you, I 100% understand. I don't think this is the right product for everyone. So if that's the case, I have a whole playlist of other fitness devices I've tried, and let's continue. And then you will also have to pay for the membership fee. So this is very, very standard. Every single connected fitness device that I've ever tried has had a monthly membership fee. So it kind of comes with the territory. So the most premium membership is going to be $39.99. And that includes the classes. It includes all the stats, the challenges, basically everything that you could possibly want to do on this thing. What I do really like that is very unique about the Climber is they do actually have a lower membership option that's only about $10 a month. Basically with a $10 membership, you will get access to guided climbs, which basically what that is it'll prompt you through different exercises, but there's no actual instructor. It's just all like text-based. Also keep all of your stats, your history, challenges, like benchmarks and stuff like that. But basically you are giving up the instructor-led climbs. They do also have a free membership option as well. But the thing is, with the free membership, you will not really have many features really at all. Basically, the only thing you'll have access to is open climbs. But if you just want to do your own thing, you don't really care about tracking your metrics and you just want to use the machine, then you can do that for free. You don't have to pay an ongoing membership. So consider the available options before you go ahead and purchase a Climber. Okay, so now let me walk you through the physical machine itself, and I'll put the dimensions here. I think one thing I do like about it is the floor space that it takes up is relatively small. There's also a lot of negative space. What I like about that is it just looks less visually heavy. First of all, let's start with the bottom of the machine. So we have this big kind of rounded part here. This is really nice because I don't know what they have in there, but it is extremely heavy on the bottom. It feels very secure when you're using it. It doesn't feel like it's going to flop over anything. Then you have your feet rests. They're actually they have these little grates in them. You can kind of see my hand on the side. And then you can tighten or loosen based on these straps right here. And then if you go up a little bit further, then we have these handles here. And then a little bit further up, you have this kind of bar here. So this may not look like much, but there's actually a few different grip positions that are kind of use this bar. So some of the classes will have you grip around the back. There's actually a bar underneath here that you can grip on. You could also do more of an underhanded grip and grip around from the bottom. And then the other thing on this area is you have your resistance dial. So the resistance goes from 1 to 11, and then you can dial it right here. Also, I like that you have this flat surface. So if you wanted to have your phone here, or I don't know, set your glasses down or something, you have a flat surface, which is not true of most exercise equipment. So I do like that. I think it's pretty convenient. Okay, and then next up you have, I guess you could say, the star of the show, which is these handles here. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can grip onto the handles. So you can grip them on this kind of side piece. You can go overhand, underhand. You can also change the position of the handle by pressing down on this button, and then you can move it upwards. Now, one complaint I do have is that I do find that sometimes it's a little bit challenging to actually move the handle positions. Sometimes in the middle of a class, the instructor's been like, hey, change the position of the handle. And I have struggled a lot sometimes actually getting it to work properly and getting the handle to shift positions. So I don't know, I feel like you have to press down pretty hard. So several times I've had to pause the class just to get it to like, just to have enough time to actually change it. And then you have a cup holder here on the side where you can put a water bottle. And then next up you have the actual star of the show, which is the screen here. The only thing is it is locked in place. So just keep that in mind, like for some of the floor workouts. So there are some like boot camp workouts and things like that where you will be on the floor, and it would be nice if the screen did rotate kind of different directions, but you know, you win some, you lose some. The only like small complaint I do have about the screen, and maybe this is a setting that I just can't find, but the screen does not automatically turn off. Like after a class, if I don't touch it, it will stay on for literally 2 days. I don't know, it can be like slightly annoying, honestly, like having to manually turn off the screen, but it's a small nitpicky thing, but something I did notice that I have never seen with another fitness device. So just a small detail to think about. So when you open up your climber, you'll start on the home screen, and the home screen is kind of like the one-stop shop for everything that you'd want to do for the most part. So they have a little summary of your lifetime stats, your friends, challenges that you're in. They also have suggested climbs or classes you can take, as well as competitions. They also have a really nice inspirational quote of the day, which I thought was really nice. The next tab is the Explore tab, and this is where you can actually find any of the classes that they have available and pick the one that you want. There's a few different ways you can filter. So you can filter by instructor, duration, difficulty level, etc. Also in the Explore tab, they have collections, and collections are kind of different than what I've seen with other connected fitness devices. Most of the time, what I've seen with other devices is more of like programs that are more fitness based. So like, you know, an abs program or an arms program or like a 30-day, you know, jumpstart the year, new you challenge, like stuff like that. These collections are a little bit different. They're more just like themes. So they have themes for different holidays, Father's Day, Pride, like stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. They also have guided climbs on this page. So then the next tab from there is challenges. And I think these are really great if you are a more goal-oriented person. So the challenges, basically how they work is they will last over a time period, whether it's like a week or a month. And it's basically, they're trying to encourage you to do more activity, like do longer climbs or do more frequent climbs, and basically reach a certain amount of like climb distance. So one of the challenges they have going on right now is for Mount Legend, which is about just under 50,000 feet. And then you are supposed to like do enough classes or do enough climbs to reach those distances. Personally, I'm not super motivated by that type of thing, to be honest, but if you are, then I think that's a really nice option. So the next tab is activity, which has your class history, your distance, pace, a bunch of stats about your performance, and as well as like how it compares over time. Finally, there's a just climb option, which is basically like what it sounds like. It's basically the manual climb option if you don't want to have any instruction at all and you just want to do your own thing. That's what the last tab is going to be for. So after you've scrolled through the homepage, all of the classes, all of that, and you decide which class that you want to take, let me kind of walk you through what the whole process is and like what you actually see on the screen when you're in class. So once you select the class you want, you're taken to this like intro page, and it has a lot of really interesting information, like how many people are in the class. It has like a really interesting like muscle focus map. So if it's focusing more on like upper body, lower body, glutes, like whatever, it'll kind of lay out the focus area in this muscle map. It'll show you the playlist for the class, a little summary. So it had a lot of like good information there. Then once you get past that, it'll prompt you if you want to connect a Bluetooth device or a heart rate monitor. And once you're in the class, there's actually quite a few different metrics on the screen. So on the left side, you'll see reach, tempo, power, and distance. Basically, it'll show up in green if you're hitting the like targets basically of what the instructor is saying, or it'll be in yellow if you're not. Then on the bottom, you'll see the timeline of the class. And this is one of the best timeline features that I've seen with any device like this, because it kind of outlines like what the style of the climb is going to be. If it's going to be like more intense, you can kind of see that with like the waveform of the class at the bottom. And then also what I think was really, really cool is there is an option to actually skip ahead to different chunks of the class. So it's basically what it's called hotspots, and you can skip ahead or, you know, skip several or go back. So this is really perfect if you're someone who like you want to be able to skip the intro, or maybe there's like really intense intervals and you just want to skip through that and just go on to the next section. It's very easy to do that, which I thought was really nice. And then on the right side, you'll have your resistance, your pace, and then you can also access some of the other settings, like you could add closed captioning, which I think is really great. Also volume settings. So you can change the volume to be up or down for the trainer, for the music, or both. Also, I like that any of these different like things on the screen, you can toggle on or off. So if you don't want to see any of the metrics, no problem. You can get rid of all of them, which personally I do like to do a lot of the time. The only complaint I had with some of the metrics is the only way to actually toggle on and off the metrics or like the time or all the different like data on the screen is you have to actually pause the class to do that, and then it will allow you to like toggle things on and off. Personally, I like to be able to like very easily just tap it to toggle on and off and not have to worry about having the class paused. So that I did think was a bit of a negative, but you know, not a huge deal, just something to keep in mind. And then in terms of the instructors, I thought the instructors were all really great. I had no problems with them. I feel like they were all pretty motivational and uplifting. However, one thing I will say is I feel like the instructors from Climber, at least what I could tell, are a little bit less personal than some other devices I've seen where they, you know, they're not really like sharing stories from their life and things like that, at least from the classes I took. Personally, I don't have like a problem with that. I think that's totally fine. But, you know, just a thing if you're kind of comparing between other devices. In terms of the actual workout itself, let me just say the workout is very challenging. The Climber workout definitely kicked my butt. Like, it is a very challenging workout, even if you're someone who's already like in moderate shape. They say that with the classes, you're going to be using about 86% of your muscles. And I can definitely see that. You're definitely moving your arms up and down. You're moving your legs. They also, especially if you do the instructor-led classes, they have a lot of different exercises that you're doing. So you're constantly kind of changing your arm movements. You might be leaning down, going forward, like doing different positions to kind of target different muscle groups as well. So I did find the exercises really quite challenging. Like, they are very tough. That being said, it is kind of in your own hands how challenging you want to make it. So you can always turn down the resistance. You can always just go slower or take a break. It's like you're working out at home. It really is all in your control. Just keep in mind it is a challenging workout. So I don't know how to sugarcoat that. The only like slight negative thing I would say is even with the different changing positions and things like that, it is going to be somewhat of a repetitive motion. I think there's really no way around that with really any at-home fitness devices, whether it's cycling or rowing. But I think they try to mitigate that as much as possible with the changing positions and things like that. I think if you want to do a little bit of a test run before you actually get one of these things, I think the closest comparison is going to be the elliptical and the stair climber. If you don't like either of those workouts, then you probably are not gonna like using the Climber because it's kind of a hybrid of those two machines. But that was my thoughts on the workout.
If you're thirsty, go ahead and grab some water. I'll wait. I ain't going nowhere. Right here, right now, this is a
Now, after I've been using the Climber for a while, I feel like I have a pretty good idea of who I think the Climber is a good fit for and who it may not be a good fit for. So I think the Climber is a really great fit for someone who wants to have a very high intensity piece of equipment in their home, the style of workout that you're going to get on like an elliptical or a stair climber, but you don't want to take up the floor space that those types of devices take up. Also, I think this is great if you like that style of workout, but you want something that's a bit more modern and new. The Climber, I compare it to those devices, but this is not the same thing as an elliptical or a stair climber. It really is a very unique device, totally like unlike anything I've really ever seen before. So I think if you're looking for something new and different, you also want to be able to take advantage of the classes and the instructors, as well as all of the data that you get from the climbs. I think this is a really great option if that is your scenario. However, obviously, if you don't like that style of workout, maybe you don't want something that maybe has as much of a repetitive motion, or if you want something that is more integrated with like strength training, there are strength training workouts with the Climber. You can also add more like accessories to add more of like a strength training workout. But at the end of the day, that's not really the focus of what this device is. And then of course, this is, just an expensive piece of equipment. It's not going to be in the budget for everyone, but personally, I really like it. I think it's a great piece of cardio equipment, and I think it's different from anything else I've tried before. So, and then if you do decide to buy Climber after watching this video, it helps me out a ton if you do use my affiliate links, and it is a win-win because you will save $500 on the Climber, and then it also helps me be able to afford to get new products to review in the future. And until next time, bye.